My beautiful girls, when we meet someone, they usually show us exactly who they are. It's our job to believe them. So let's talk about it. What's up, my beautiful girls? It's your girl, J. Marie. You are watching and listening to Girl Talk with J. Marie. And yes, y'all, it's Girl Talk, but a wise man is listening. And today's episode, lean a little bit closer because this one's entitled, When People Show You Who They Are. And I leave that open for you to say, believe them the first time, because that's exactly what I think you should do. I welcome you to the show, and I hope that you have already subscribed. If you have not subscribed, thank you for taking that moment right now and pressing subscribe. We want to hear from you. Tell me your thoughts, comments, and concerns on any episode for that matter. Thank you so much to all of those who have already subscribed. I love you and I appreciate you so much. The first thing I like to do to start off our episodes, no matter what, I want to get your spirit together. So we like to start it off with prayer on the spot, which is my prayer ministry you can follow to get daily words and prayers to be encouraged spiritually, because we need all of that. But I also like to connect it to the topic for the day. Now, this one comes from Proverbs 1:5, and it says here, let the wise heart increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. I'm going to say it one more time. Let the wise heart increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. Now, I bring this up for this topic because when you're wise, when you have understanding, you make better decisions. I hope that we are able to make better decisions based on discernment, based on wisdom, based on what we find out within one or two interactions with someone. I'd like to think that once you lived a little bit, it don't take you a whole lot to figure out who somebody is. So just like today, when somebody shows you who they are, you have got to believe them. Now, I will say, the saying says, believe them the first time. I've heard that many different people coin that term, but even if you say believe them the first time, you might not do that. You might be like people that I know, or sometimes myself, and try to give people grace. Maybe they was just tripping that day. That might not be how they are. Blah, 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 blah. But then here comes the future. Dun, 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 dun. And then you see the same daggone thing on a different day. So with that said, I want to go ahead and talk about some points that I have on this topic. Number one, people tell on themselves. Listen to me clearly. People tell on themselves in the very first conversation that you have with them. Most of the time, they tell you off tops who they are, and we make the choice to believe it the first time we hear it or see it, and we also make the choice to continue dealing with that person. I'm talking about in relationships. This could even be platonic. I mean, if it's even a professional relationship, if it is a friendship that we're talking about, those things even apply, the same exact points. Why? Because we don't deviate too much from our character, no matter what situation we are as humans. Whatever's inside of us, unless you are a very strategic, manipulating person, you really cannot hide who you are, no matter what the circumstance is. If that's who you are at the core of you, it's going to come out for those who have eyes to see. That's why I say we choose to see it in that person, or we choose to put on blinders and act like we don't see whatever that is in that person. So, for instance, when you're in or looking for a relationship, or say you just dating, having fun, but you got some things that you are looking for, this brings me to my next point. Know what you're looking for before you go in. I mean, if you end up in something, that's different. But when you have an intention to find a significant other, when you have an intention to date long term, when you have an intention to be married, have an intention to have sex, whatever it is that you're trying to do, you need to know exactly what you're getting into prior to that. Why is that important? Because if you know what your deal breakers are off tops, you're going to be able to shut stuff down and save yourself a whole lot of time. It's a whole lot of time in it. Okay, let me stop. That was so corny. Anyways, it's a whole lot of time that we waste. It's a whole lot of frustration and emotions that you tend to go through because you didn't decide to stick with your deal breakers. Now, come on. If I know one of my deal breakers is that I don't want no man that don't know how to be romantic, then why in God's name would I keep going to day 2, day 3, day 4 when I know the first 2 days he didn't even try to be romantic? I'm going to tell you like this. If romance is your thing, you want to find someone who looks forward to romancing. Ooh, if you know that they want to treat you like that little special movie scene that you love, that's the person that you got to be like, okay, I gave him a little heads up. This is what I like. And then if he does it, ding, 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 ding. Hello there. How you doing? Yeah, all that good stuff. And then if he doesn't, okay, you let him know again. Hey, you know, I mean, I kind of like it when I get roses. I like it if you open up my door. Whatever it is. If they still don't do it on date number 2, I'm going to tell you like this. More than likely, they're not going to be that person in 10 years. I'm just saying. It don't just pop up. They want to be this person. I can't even make this up. It's not about being in relationships forever and all this. It's literally about human behavior. You just know yourself. I know one thing. If I'm always polite when I talk to elderly people, that's not going to change. It's just going to be that way. The same old people that say, oh, I don't want you to call me ma'am, but you old and I should call you ma'am because that's how I was raised. It's not going to leave up out of me. That's a minor example. But there's so many things that we all have experienced in different ways where we knew daggone well that a person showed us who they were, whether it was toward us directly, and maybe sometimes they treat other people a certain way. They still told you who they were, and you decided to ignore it. Now, the next thing, you got to make sure that you are strong and confident to know that you're going to get exactly what it is that you want, even if they don't have it, even if the next person doesn't have it. Sometimes you just got to stand strong and have faith. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, y'all. I know so many people who have straight up settled, okay? Y'all settled. And y'all ain't happy. And because y'all settled and y'all ain't happy, y'all want somebody else, talking about me, to settle and not be happy. But what y'all don't understand is that I'm happy the way that I am, choosing the way I choose, going through the ups and downs that I go through with the men that I deal with, because I'm trying to figure this out so that I can actually be happy with the person that I'm with. I know that it's possible. How do I know that it's possible? Because other people have it. I refuse to believe that I'm not going to get something somebody else has when God loved me just as much as he loved anybody else. I walk like that. I'm asking you today that when somebody shows you who they are, you need to believe who they are. Actions are going to speak louder than words. They don't got to tell you who they are, because you can hear somebody talk all day about how they going to beat this person up. Oh, I'm going to fight this person. Oh, I can do this. They can talk all the talk they want to. That same person be the one that get beat down. That same person be the one that can't even fight. So that we already know the talking don't mean nothing. But if she ain't saying no words and she lay hands on somebody, and I ain't talking about in the name of Jesus, then hey, she didn't have to tell you who she was. She showed you. I don't know why I used the fight analogy to describe that. But y'all really get that point. He showed you who he was. She showed you who she was. Why you keep trying to change that person? One thing about a person, especially after a certain age, they're grown. And I think it takes time for people to get grown. I think it takes time. I think we develop into who we actually are going to be over time, because the word talk about the God makes everything perfect in its time. I think there comes to a point where we actually figure it out. And I realized, like, okay, I'm not going to be that person you want me to be. If a man is expecting something out of me that I know is not who I am and is causing me to feel less than, and I don't mean that in maybe he's talking down to me. I just mean that I don't get to be J. Marie. I gotta be way too shelled up so that you can accept me. I'm not yours. I got a Chiefs shirt on. I love the Chiefs. I don't like wearing a bra. I gotta be with somebody who don't mind a girl that loves football, who don't like wearing a bra. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, there ain't a whole lot of changing that's gonna come out of that. I can make some adjustments. I put a bra on when your friends is over, but hey. Okay, you get what I'm saying though. I know who I am too. So when I tell you who I am, believe me. I can apply that same thing to myself. I ain't asking nothing from nobody else that I wouldn't be willing to give out or that I don't accept for myself. So it's up to us to keep the blinders on or to take the blinders off. And when you figure it out, just keep going. Don't be mad at nobody because they didn't change for you. They don't have to change for you. You don't want nobody to be mad at you if you don't change for them. Just trying to help somebody today. Speaking of helping somebody, my next favorite segment is called Girl, Talk About It. And in this segment, that was me. In this segment, we tend to talk about those things that you should have already known. And maybe you missed it, so I'm here to share it with you. And in this particular Girl Talk About It segment, we back talking about our girl, Sha'Carri Richardson. Hey, Sha'Carri. So I just want y'all to know, I love her. I love her so much. She's so real. She's the one that we talking about today. When somebody show you who they are, she done told you who she is. And she very big, bad, and bold. And I love to see it all the time. However, on Saturday, at there was the University of Oregon. They hosted the Nike Prefontaine Classic, and baby, when I tell you that our girl got 9th place, she got last, y'all. She ran an 11.1, and it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. This was after her suspension for having a marijuana positive test. After her mom had just passed away, she didn't get to go to the Olympics, and then she came back and she lost to my Jamaican brothers and sisters. Listen, they don't be playing out there. Jamaica took 1, 2, and 3, okay, in the 100-meter race for the ladies. So shout out to y'all for that. But for sure, Sha'Carri gonna get it back. And as she said, for everybody talking SHIT, it's okay because I'm gonna come back, and period. So we are expecting a comeback. Y'all gotta go watch that race because it really was shocking. And I was slightly confused. But she said she got it. Don't worry about it. She's still number 5 fastest, and she can handle what she has to handle. So we're going to let her do just that, okay? Now, y'all make sure that y'all support Black businesses, support Black nonprofits. We got to make sure to support our brothers and sisters who are supporting the people. Power to the people. Okay, let me quit playing around. All right, I love y'all so much. I thank you so much for watching Girl Talk with J. Marie. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Listen and tell me, when people show you who you are, when people show you who they are, what do you do? I mean, do you keep dealing with them? Do you try to make adjustments? Let me know what's happening in the comments. All right, I love you all so much. Have a blessed week. Till next time. Oh, shout out to my Chiefs. We 2-0, baby.